Good day, everyone. Welcome to Mathematics Mail. Mathematics Mail is a beautiful program meant for beautiful and handsome people like you. It is a program designed to help you improve in the study of mathematics. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook. Thank you. Today on Mathematics Mail, we are going to look at lunch question number 21. Right. We have solved series of lunch questions from diverse topics. Today, we want to look at lunch question number 21, and our topic is surd. We have the question on surd. We're asked to simplify that expression. Simplify square root of 3 minus square root of 2 divided by square root of 3 plus what? Plus 2. Okay. Now, the first problem that students usually have in mathematics is ability to know the topic of the question they want to solve. That's the first. If you know the topic, you have passed the first hurdle. The second hurdle is ability to know the aspects of the topic. For example, this surd. Now, we have different aspects of surd, like expressing surd in basic form, addition, subtraction, multiplication of surd, and then rationalization of denominators of fractions. So if you know that this topic is surd, the next is to know the aspect of surd, and this is a case of rationalization of denominators of fractions that involve a surd. So when you now know the aspect you are dealing with, then you now ask yourself, what are the steps, what are the rules that we are going to follow in order to solve the problem. So we have the square root of 3 minus square root of 2 divided by square root of 3 plus square root of 2. Now when we have a fraction, and the denominator of that fraction is a surd, we say we begin by rationalizing the denominator. That's making the denominator to be a rational number. That's the first thing we are going to do. So in this case, we need to rationalize. So now we know the topic, we know the aspect of surd. Now we want to begin the problem. We say the first thing is to rationalize. This question is, how do we rationalize denominators of fractions when the denominators are surds? We say we find the conjugate. Remember, the surd can be monomial or binomial surd. In this case, we have a binomial surd because the surd consists of two terms, so it's a binomial surd. And we say that the conjugate of a binomial surd is obtained by changing the sign between the two terms to the opposite sign. Other numbers remain the same, other terms remain the same. So it means that the conjugate of square root of 3 plus square root of 2 is going to give us square root of 3 minus square root of 2. To find the conjugate of binomial surd, just change the sign between the terms to the opposite sign. So since this sign is positive, then it means that the conjugate will be obtained by just changing this positive sign to what? Negative sign. So if I have 3 plus root 5, the conjugate will be 3 minus root 5. We have done that when we treated surd. If you want our videos on surd, a full video on surd, starting from the preliminary, so you can also contact us. We'll make the videos available to you. So the first is to discover or identify or obtain the conjugate, and then we use that conjugate, that's the conjugate of the denominator. We use it to multiply the numerator and the denominator. So we have square root of 3 minus square root of 2 divided by square root of 3 plus square root of 2, then times square root of 3 plus square root of, minus square root of 2 divided by square root of 3 minus square root of 2. So why are we multiplying by square root of 3 minus square root of 2? Because square root of 3 minus square root of 2 is the conjugate of this denominator, the surd in the denominator. So we move on. So we can multiply this. We have root 3 minus root 2 times root 3 minus root 2 divided. Now we have a special way of multiplying conjugates. This and this are conjugate. Remember, This special way is only when you are dealing with what? Conjugate. If I have a plus root b times a minus root b, these two surds are conjugate. You will discover that the only difference between them is the sign separating the two terms. So that's what makes them conjugate. All we need to do is to square the first term, use it to subtract the square of the second term, like difference of two square in algebra. So if I have square root of 7 minus square root of 5 times square root of 7 plus square root of 5, all I need to do is to square this. Then I will use the square to subtract the square of this. So we have square root of 7 all squared minus square root of 5 all squared. I will just finish the multiplication. Nothing stops you from still expanding. Yeah, if you expand, you will arrive at the same answer. If I square root 7, I will have 7. Square this, I will have 5. At the end of the day, I will have 2. If I expand, root 7 times root 7 is 7. Root 7 times plus root 5 will give me plus root 35. Minus root 5 times this will give me minus root 35. Then minus root 5 times plus root 5 will give me minus 5. And root 35 minus root 35 is 0. I'm left with 7 minus 5, which is still 2. So you see, this simplifies our work. So if we apply the short form of multiplying conjugate surd, I'm going to write this as square root of 3 squared minus square root of 2 all squared. Remember that you can only do this when the surds you are trying to multiply are what? Conjugates. They are conjugates. So if we do that, if I expand this, root 3 times root 3 will give me 3. Then square root of 3 times this will give me minus root 6. Then minus root 2 times this will give me minus root 6. And minus root 2 times minus root 2 will give me plus 2 when I multiply this. Because minus times minus is plus. Divided by root 3 squared is just 3. Root 2 squared is just what? 2. So this and this are ordinary numbers. So I can actually reduce this to 3 minus 2 root 6 when I combine this plus 2 divided by 1, because 3 minus 2 is 1. Now when 1 divides this, it still remains the same thing. So we can go further to say that this will be equal to, then I can add this and this. This becomes 3 plus 2 minus 2 root 6. That will give us, remember when 1 divides this, it still remains the 10. So 3 plus this will give me what? 5 minus 2 root 6. That's the final result. You cannot go beyond this because you cannot subtract 5 and 2 root 6. This is ordinary number, but this is surd, so you cannot actually subtract. It will be mathematically wrong. It will be unmathematical and anti-mathematics for anyone to say 5 minus 2, then the person will have 3, and that's not mathematics. The person maybe is doing a different thing altogether. All right. Thank you for staying with us till now as we consider the lunch question number 21. Remember, we will not let you go until you become mathematically transformed. Yeah, we must transform you mathematically so that when you have a handshake with someone, the person will actually contact mathematics. Don't mind me. We are still on mathematics, but for now we are going to go because our breakfast is over. We wait for dinner. Remember, we want to feed you in the morning, in the afternoon, and also in the night, so that you must stay strong mathematically. Thank you, and God bless you. Don't forget that there is need for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook, Mathematics and Science Mia. God bless you.